It is Wednesday, the 15th of September, and we are in Leister Store in Pleasant Valley, and it is my pleasure to be, let's see, my name is Jim Mayola. It's the year 2010, and it is my pleasure to be interviewing Miss Angie Bowersox. Angie, you're the curator here at the Leister Store, which you've turned into a museum.
Actually, I'm not the curator. I'm called the executive director
Okay.
by the board or whatever.
Right.
And Leister Store it has been a landmark in Pleasant Valley since 1929 when Paul Leister purchased the store. And Jane Leister operated the store until I think it was 2001 or 2 when she became ill. But she operated the store after her husband died in 1989. And so actually the date is 2003. So the store was in operation for 68 years under the Leister name. And so when she died in February of 2007, the store contents were sold, and then the building was sold. And so my husband and I purchased the building, and I always wanted to do a museum here, and Jane Leister and I had talked about it over the years, and so we decided to establish a foundation and make it a nonprofit foundation. And we had, there was about 20 people that gathered at the church, and Ed Leister and I were working on this project, and we thought that we might be the only two there because we invited everybody we knew and friends and people that we thought might be interested in establishing a museum. And so when we met, we had like around 20 people show up, and it was amazing. Every one of them had something to offer. We went around the room, and we said, like Floyd Click, he said, it's always been a dream of mine to set up a country store. I don't get like, you're hired. And his wife, Drew Ann, was instrumental in setting up a system for bringing in all these artifacts that we have. And it was just, one person after another, stood up and said what they had to offer. So it's that core of 20 people is basically, keeping us going, and they were really dedicated people. And that was in February of 2008, and we actually spent like the next 8 months cleaning out off the shelves and getting the building, getting everything ready, and gathering up items to put in the museum. And we actually, everything's on loans, so that we can, if anybody needs something back for any reason, they can have it back. And our official opening was on October the 11th of 2008. And we didn't realize at the time that that's kind of unheard of to open a museum in 8 months, because we were told later at a conference that we went to that it normally takes 2 to 4 years to open a museum.
Sure.
So I'm glad I went to that conference after we opened and not before we opened. And we spent hours and hours, on this project. And it's real interesting when people come in and they look at they'll say, "Oh, I remember coming here for Yoo-Hoo soda," or always got penny candy, or the men were sitting in the back of the store and they were playing cards, or they were drinking bromo, which was this was truly a general store because they sold gas out front. There was gas pumps, and behind me there's a kerosene pump, and you come in and get with your little container and get kerosene for your stove and for cooking. And they just had pretty much anything you needed, from clothing to BB guns, or to just a little bit of everything.
Angie, when I walked in the door, it just took me back, because while it's a museum, it absolutely looks like an old general store. I mean, you walk in and there it is, and you can actually buy some things here. You can purchase some candy here, and sodas and different things.
Yes.
But you do other things here too, don't you?
Yes, we to raise funds to pay for the fuel and everything that we need to keep it operating. We have tea parties, Victorian tea parties in the house part of it, and we can have like up to 25 people at a tea party. And we started a spaghetti dinner and silent auction, and so that's fundraiser. We do yard sales, and we get donations from people because it's a nonprofit group, so things are tax deductible. And just people keep coming in with remarkable things that we didn't even know existed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to come by and find out more about the store, you're open on Sundays.
We're open every Sunday except holiday weekends.
Okay.
And 9 or 12 to 3.
Okay.
And then we also are open by appointment. We'll have groups come in, and then we're open sometimes. We set up a schedule, but would be open when the fire companies having activities. Like we try to be open some of the times when they do their train garden in December. And excellent. We have a special opening in December. It'll be the second Saturday in December when we have a lamplight tour where everything will be. It'll be dark except for the kerosene lamps. And that's a real nice evening. Christmas caroling
and if somebody wanted to call and find out about the Leister Store Museum, what phone number would they call?
They would call actually it would be Ed Leister's number. Okay. And it's on that little I'm sorry.
All
right. I haven't memorized that yet. It's 410-259-5922. Okay. Or they could call me at 410-848-1549.
Angie, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.